All right, Bible reading for day 1 was Genesis 1 and Hebrews chapter 11, verses 1 through 3. And originally, as I said in yesterday's post, I was going to do my daily reading in the Christian Standard Bible, but one of the benefits of using an app such as YouVersion is that you have access to multiple different translations. So I ended up actually doing the initial reading today, looking at the Legacy Standard Bible, which is a newer translation that's, if I remember right, is based off of the 1995 New American Standard. And actually, in reading from the Legacy Standard Bible, I actually saw Genesis 1:26 in a new light, where the first part of it goes, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, so that they will have dominion over the fish of the sea," etc., etc. Basically, it's God giving dominion, or man having rule over, as some translations will put it, over creation, is basically in the Bible explicitly tied to the fact that we were created in God's image. It wasn't just God created us in his image and then says, okay, also, why don't you go ahead and have dominion over? No, he created us in his image so that we can have dominion over creation. And pretty much the other translations that I looked at, the New King James, English Standard, Christian Standard, both versions of the New American Standard, the 95 and the 2020 edition, basically they didn't really, as I said, tie those two concepts together like they did in the Legacy Standard. And I'll probably continue doing my daily reading in the Legacy Standard, but I probably also will look at these other translations as well. With that being said, we often ask, what is God's will for my life? Or what is it that God wants me to do? However, how often do we actually take time to reflect on, while asking those questions, what it means to be made in God's image and how the two actually relate? I mean, for myself, I usually only reflect on man being made in God's image in a more theoretical, hypothetical, or abstract concept, in how I view other people, how I treat other people, but not really with trying to figure out what I'm to do personally, or what type of vocation I'm supposed to be in, or things like that. So, again, it was interesting to see how God not only told us to rule over the earth, but that being made in his image was so that we can rule over the earth. Basically, we were made in God's image to serve as his representative, ambassador, or steward to creation. So let me leave you with this thought to ponder as we go through this next year. Do my actions, thoughts, and speech present God in a favorable light? Do they present a God that, when creating the world, called everything precious? And I know these questions don't relate to what I was talking, but they also do relate to Genesis 1, as the term good God that's used in Genesis 1 isn't so much perfection, but because there's actually a different Hebrew word for that, but it's actually a word that's more closely related to the concept of something being viewed as precious. So do they present God in a favorable light? Do they present a God that, when creating the world, viewed everything as precious and mankind as very precious? Or do they reflect poorly on who God is? So, thoughts for January 1st, thoughts for a new year, and feel free to join me along in reading through the Bible in 96 weeks, I think, is what the plan said.